You're seeing this case at my Computex booth coverage, and we have it right here for another review in terms of new product after Computex delivered immediately just for the sake of the review. So what we have right here is an outstanding priced case. And when I'm saying outstanding, this is a $59.99 case without any fans, with 4 preloaded fans in terms of 120 on the side. I think it's 120 at the rear, not quite sure because it can fit 140, is $74.99 in black and white. So that's outstanding. This is Lian Li VECTOR V100. And as I said, it comes in black and white. Now this case literally has everything in terms of fans, as you can see, everywhere. And not only that, because on front you can place your pop figurine if you desire to do so, because they have a special place for that. And yeah, that's quite cool. So let's break it down with the chassis, because it's not much to go through, but I'll explain why the price is so low. So first, comparing this case to any other Lian Li case so far, we don't have everything in metal finish in terms of material, right? So this is plastic, the top is plastic, and the steel plate at the back, steel plate, and we have it here as well. In terms of that, this is where they lowered the cost. The tempered glass is still 4 millimeters thick, so they didn't lower it over there. But there is no additional screws for holding the front and side tempered glass. Everything is on pegs. Everything is user-friendly in terms of accessing the top, front, side, both sides basically. And we have dust filters here on top, which you can see this is quite easy. And this is already attached dust filter, so you basically can't remove it. It's glued to the top, but you can easily dust it off. And one more dust filter, which is located here at the bottom side of the power supply shrouds. So basically it only covers the power supply. Now in general, what you have in this case is a full opening here from the front part, completely on the power supply shroud, which is outstanding because, as you can see, you can place 2 120mm fans. You can't go 140, that's for sure, but honestly I wouldn't even consider that. Then we have at the back 120 or 140. In this type of case, 140 at the back, comparing some other cases from Lian Li, that's outstanding. 360 to 8240 on the top, which means 3 120 or 2 140 fans, and on the side 3 120 can fit without a problem. And you know what's the best part? You can literally do an outstanding cable management, because apart from BTF support or back connect support, it's just simply loads of openings to hide the cables. The only problem here with the TL fans is that this part has to go here. Well, basically I could rotate the fans, but then the PCI expansions are in the way for this connection for the Unifan TL wireless. So yeah, in those terms, I did try to rotate it. Now, apart from that, I think it can support eATX motherboards, but there is a limit. And of course, you have the option to push through the 24 pin cable, because you have a huge opening on the side. Now, that's it. The graphic cards can go up to 410, that's outstanding. Air coolers can go up to 18 centimeters or 180 millimeters. Power supply 220, but you have an opening fully to the front, so you don't have to worry about that. And that's it when we're talking about the compatibility. In general, I'm loving the design. You have the LED strip here with, I think, 26 LEDs, if I'm correct. And you already have a daisy chainable 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB header. So you basically just plug it into any addressable RGB header on your motherboard, or if you have a controller, and you can still connect something to it, so it doesn't occupy that connector unnecessarily. Then when we go at the power supply shroud, now here is the interesting thing. I thought, okay, they cut down this front part. It wouldn't look nice if they raised it up here because of the front tempered glass. But what they did is you have those rubber grommets that you place on your hard drives, and you can place one 3.5-inch hard drive here at the front, which is quite convenient actually, because it really shortens down the cables, connecting it to SATA and in general connecting it to the power supply. And you have one 3.5-inch SSD bracket caddy right here behind the GPU motherboard location, let's put it this way. Now, this is it for the power supply shroud. There's literally nothing else in those terms. 22 centimeters, but you have loads of space depending on the fans. So I wouldn't suggest going with long extenders because you'll have long cables from the power supply just blocking the air intake from this part. But honestly, I didn't notice that problem with the 5080. Next thing, the back side. You have around 3 to 3, maybe 4 centimeters of space at the back for cable management. Now, that's not the only thing. They have Velcro ties. They have loads of Velcro ties at the back. You have those standoffs for using zip ties, and you have plastic clips on the side for EPS cables. So they really thought through this case in those terms, giving you a possibility to even have a nice and tidy cable management at the back, which is outstanding, of course. And that's basically it. The top part isn't removable. I only see rivets here, no screws, so you can't remove the top part. And I think this is done intentionally to have more stability on the front part when placing tempered glass. Because when I did place tempered glass after installing the AIO, the tempered glass actually just fit inside, so there isn't any issues. Regarding the accessing of the cables, I would strongly suggest connect everything prior to installing the AIO and these fans, because you'll have a bit of a limited accessing the PWM headers here on the top, or addressable RGB. 8-pin, I don't even have to talk about that. TPS, you have to connect that prior of placing the AIO because you won't be able to access it. But in general, nice compact case, loads of space here in general for the main components, but also loads of space at the back. And when we're talking about the price, I mean, if you already have some fans, $59.99 is outstanding for this type of chassis. And let's be honest, this is plastic. Okay, no problem. You have plastic. But it's not, then it's nicely designed, specifically not because of this, but it's nicely manufactured, and it brings really nice visual aspect. Okay, some of you guys that don't like plastic, you'll most likely decide not to go with that stuff, but in general, this case really is killer with the price, killer with the airflow, because in benchmarks what I got is, and this is 7900 X3D paired up with RTX 5080, this is gaming trio. We have IDA 64 Extreme Edition, Galahad 2 Lite 360, paired up with all the TL fans. So we have 3 reverse on the side, 3 regular on top, 2 reverse at the bottom, and 1 regular at the back. 83 degrees with the clock speed 4850 megahertz. That's quite solid, and I have nothing against that. This is really good. Now, when we go with Cinebench and we have 10 runs on average, the CPU thermals were 76.3, which really stacks up quite nicely, because usually it was around 80 plus minus 1-2 degrees. This is way below the average. Then we have 4995 megahertz clock speed on the CPU and 26,450 average of 10 runs in Cinebench scores for this same 7900 X3D. In general, what you can presume, this case, when you take into consideration even those 4 fans with 74.99, you get visual aspect, which is outstanding. You get this cutout right here, which tempered glass follows that part, is outstanding. This LED strip can be more subtle than it already is. And of course, if you don't want to go with expensive fans in terms of, let's put it this way, you're buying a case that is $59.99 or $74.99. You're not going to go with TL fans, definitely. Galahad 2 Lite, definitely, because it's in that budget segment. So it's something that you'll most likely go with a different fan configuration. I just had them laying around, which were basically prepared for prior builds, so I just placed them inside because I didn't have any other fans to have them unified, because I wanted to give you visual aspect as well, not only specifications, details, and thermals and benchmarks, but I want to give you the visual aspect as well, so you know what you could possibly do. It doesn't have to be these fans, you can go with any other fans, but just to show you how unifying the fans inside the build looks in this type of case. And big thumbs up to Lian Li. Okay, I don't think when you take the past cases in consideration, specifically when we go and discuss Lancool 217, it's all steel, wood, and maybe eventually rubber grommets, stuff like that, right? But here it's completely different story. They went with the budget configuration and they did it a great job. So honestly, when you take into consideration the thermals, the performance in general, and the fan configuration, the space, the mounting possibilities, the space for the components here and at the back, best by badge. Without a doubt, when you take into consideration $59.99 for this type of chassis where you still have not bad quality, I'm not saying it's bad, but you do have plastic here on top and everything all together, it's still good. So this is an outstanding chassis, and because of that, PC Crazy best by badge, without a doubt. So guys, you'll see this case tomorrow as well, but changing the AIO, changing the fans, and well, basically you'll see what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be the same configuration where we're talking about motherboard, processor, and the GPU. I'm just going to revert the fans and everything all together, just to give you an idea how this case can look without the tubes running like this. Because this case, let's be honest, has nice 270 view, and that kind of obstructs this part right here with the tubes, so it can look even cleaner. So guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell so you don't miss tomorrow's video with the same case and everything, which will give you more perspective on the chassis and how to be able to design it even better for the visual aspect. And of course, we're going to have some benchmarks with that as well to give you more idea on that segment. Guys, thank you for watching today's one, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.